What is that?
It's my game.
Oh, is that your game?
Yeah. That's my favorite tunes.
Yeah,
It's a catchy one.
It's my jam.
Okay. Update, would you? There we go.
I like to move it, move
Let me
it.
see who I can thank.
Oh.
Do we get any people?
Hey, Taylor.
Patreons? Okay.
He says good morning. Good morning.
We'll give a couple of minutes for people to get
Good
the
morning, John.
notification that we're here.
We're like, what? Wait. We're probably messing with a lot of people right now going, is it Friday?
They're going,
yes, it's Friday, yes.
They're going, is it Friday? Is this a special? Say, what? Yeah, so here's the thing. We've got a bunch of things on the plate tomorrow at our kids' school. Fall festival, Halloween type stuff.
Yeah.
So it was either today or nothing.
Or, yeah, we would have had to skip.
Yep, and we don't want to
So-
skip. Okay.
Hi.
Should we get started?
Hi.
All right, well, welcome to Friday Live. I'm Mark,
And I'm Nicole.
and we are here to talk a little bit about woodworking, to drink some coffee, tell you about some products.
I always notice when I say I'm Nicole, I go, I'm Nicole.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Nicole.
Oh, that's
I'm
so
like,
nice,
what is up
Nicole.
with my voice?
I don't know, but I'm Mark. All right, so we want to thank some folks who helped us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/woodwhisperers, where you can go to help out too. Get some stuff in return.
Yeah, and yeah, what?
That's-
the rewards. I'm just a little, I need more coffee.
That was very
Nicole.
smooth.
I
Nicole.
know, right?
Very smooth
I was
transition.
going to say, we put up the
And,
questions. Well, I was going to go
I
down
gotta
the
go.
path. I know that's exactly what happened. I was going to go down the path of saying that's where we put up the thing to get the questions beforehand.
And blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Philip Villarreal, Christopher Davidson, thank you so much, guys, for helping us out.
Yes.
And again, it's patreon.com/woodwhisper if you want to help out. Also, if you're here live, I'm going to mention the super chat thing. It's something you can use. It's a thing that YouTube does where you could put a small donation in there and get your question kind of put
Bumped.
at the top of the list.
we don't stop until all the super chats
Until all
are
those
read.
are answered. You don't have to do it, though.
Yeah, no.
Just saying.
It's,
It's something that's there. So I do have some questions to get to, pre-selected from Patreon. Nicole's got the chat room open. She'll
I
be collecting
do.
questions. Two things I want to do before we get started. First, I want to show you something that I bought.
he's so excited about this.
I'm so excited. And this is something, this is not an ad. I mean, it is an ad, but no one's paying for it but me. I've been on the hunt for like a good screwdriver, a good multi-screwdriver that has a bunch of bits, but something that doesn't just eventually wind up falling out all the time, bits that kind of stay in place. Now, look, I say all this, and I know I'm still going to lose all these bits, but let's just pretend I'm not going to. But I want it to be like hefty. I want a good, solid feel to it. So I did some research and looked at some reviews, and the one that I decided on is this Mega Pro.
He bought two of them.
I bought two of them. I bought one for the house, so that'll be there when I need it, and then I got one for the shop. And I've got so many screwdrivers. Like part of my shop reorganization, stage 3, I'd like to call it, I've got screwdrivers everywhere. And I find myself going, you know, kind of like I have a nice set of chisels, well, multiple nice sets, let's be honest. I'm like, well, let me go find a really nice set of screwdrivers. But then I'm like, why do I need a set? Why don't I get something like this? Everything is on board. I can quickly swap them out, and I've got what I need right here. So this is the Mega Pro. It is the gaudiest blue and yellow, and it's kind of good because you can see it from across the
You
shop.
can find it really easily.
Very easy to find. In the back, you've got all of the little bits. They're two-sided, so you got the dual function there, but it's got everything from Phillips to straight to those little star shapes to a couple of square options there. You like my terminology is really good here.
I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah, it's got that little spring-loaded ball that makes it
A lot of people
stay.
in the chat room are agreeing with you that this is a good screwdriver.
Yeah.
So Benny Woodworks and Scott Hamster.
See, I did my research.
Yeah.
So I'm going to recommend this, and we'll probably, when we do our gift guide, this will
Yeah.
probably wind up in the
Yeah,
gift
it
guide.
will.
But I'm super excited about this, and it may just be something that makes me go, you know what? Why do I need 6 or 7 screwdrivers on the wall? I've pretty much got everything I need right here. And the price is good.
Like $21
Yeah.
right now. So if you're wondering, hey, I want to get one of those, you can head on over to amazon.com/shop/the Wood Whisperer, and we have a category called Mark Recommends.
Lots of stuff there.
So,
Can you just put the link, the direct link in the chat?
oh, yeah, I could do that too. You make
Nicole's
it
going to
sound
put the
so
direct
easy.
link. It's really easy. Nicole's going to put the link to this if you
But,
guys want. And
yeah.
by the way, it is part of the affiliate program at Amazon, so You don't spend any more, but a couple pennies will go to us if you buy that. All right, the other thing I wanted to show you, I'm gonna have to take my mic off. I want to show you my new 2-tiered drawer thing that I built yesterday.
Okay. I'm collecting questions, and we are getting super chats. We just got a super chat from Triple J Customs Jose. He said, "Hola Spags, here's for your coffee run." Thanks, Jose.
Thanks, dude.
You're so good to us.
Oh, Jose, you're my favorite Jose. I don't actually know any other Jose's.
We don't?
Do you know any Jose's?
Let me think about it. Not that I can recall.
Told you. Okay. Man.
Maybe? It's probably from work when I worked in DC.
Post-nasal drip is brutal this time of year. All right, let me get Mike back up.
What is this? What is this old ratty thing?
You don't want to know what that is.
It looks like an old spatula.
I could tell you, but it'd have to destroy you.
It's leather.
Okay, so here's one of the drawers that I constructed for the recent shop cabinet build. And I was in the kitchen, and we have this lovely little utensil drawer that has 2 trays. They sit on top of one another, and you slide the top one back, and it reveals a whole nother area of storage. So I decided that I would do something like that because, I mean, this is like a 5.5 inch deep drawer, and some things don't take up a lot of vertical space. So you throw them on the bottom of this drawer and it's all wasted. So I wanted to design something kind of a simplified version that could be done after the fact, right? This drawer is already built. So I had to do a little minor surgery to develop something that would work with this, and I will have a video coming out on this pretty soon. So check it out.
I like the little touch you did here where you did a little divot on this side and that side.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So the one in the house actually has a very large, like, half moon scoop there. So you can get your finger in there. But this one I had to do a combination of the box material as well as this tray. So you got a very easy way to get your finger in there.
Everyone, someone just commented that Mike Smathers, I can't believe how many erasers and containers of pencil lead are in there.
You know, some of these are probably from college. Like, I've kept a lot of these around. And
older than our kids.
You guys know how it is. Every time you buy a mechanical pencil, almost always it's going to come with extra lead. And I almost never get to that extra lead before I lose the pencil.
Oh, yeah.
So I accumulate lots of lead. And I just don't have it in my heart to throw it away. So yeah, lots of lead to go through here. You know, you buy Sharpies in bulk because you should. You should always buy them in bulk. I sign a lot of books.
Bulk on sale.
Yeah, and I sign a lot of books, and I use my Sharpies to do that.
Should I put that in Mark recommends?
What, Sharpies?
Bulk of Sharpies.
Yeah, maybe. That's not a bad idea. And then, so basically this is like drafting drawer. So all my pencils, markers, utensils, templates, French curves, everything underneath here. So the one thing, sorry, I got to clear my throat. Hold on. Excuse me.
Want some drink? Drink some of that
I didn't
coffee.
drink any water this morning. That's part of the problem.
I kind of surprised him, like, oh, we're not doing this on Friday, so let's just do it right now. What? Wait.
Yeah, normally I drink lots of water to thin the mucus. So the one I have in the kitchen has a rail system, so there's a guide, and if you were building this from scratch, that's what you would want to do. But I tried to come up with a simplified design, so it really just involves a strip of 1/4 inch plywood being added to each size, and it's just a little bit higher than the bottom insert so that this top tray will ride smoothly on top. So the thing is, after I built it, I posted this on Instagram yesterday because I thought I had a major fail here, because I then was like, I put the top tray out this far and suddenly it tips. And I'm like, oh, that's why there's a guide there. I'm dumb. So to get around that, I just glued on.
You're having fun going back and forth, aren't you?
Well, look how smooth it is.
I know.
I put a little wax on it. It's great. So I put these little strips back here, which actually will support the drawer completely in the back. And a little minor surgery. You do have to put a little bit of a cutout back here. That'll be in the video. You'll see how to do that. But this is a great way to really effectively double the storage of just about any drawer.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool.
Okay, I'm going to go put the camera back.
Yep. While you're doing that, I will read some super chats.
Can you sing us a song?
No. Ava would, though.
Sing sunshine.
So you are my sunshine. Rich Bolduc, a few weeks ago, you answered my question about the assembly/outfeed table and issues with my fence. Is there a single rail fence you recommend? Is there?
A single rail fence.
Single rail fence. This is for Rich.
Excuse my lack of knowledge of the terminology on something like this. So when you're saying single rail, are we saying not a Biesemeyer style fence?
I don't know.
So,
I'm just
because I think what he's saying is with the outfeed table, sometimes the rear rail, or with that to me is the rear of the saw. The outfeed side of the saw has like an L bracket, angle iron type secondary component to the fence system. So maybe he's looking for one that isn't there so that you could butt up the outfeed table closer to the table saw. I don't have a recommendation. My experience in the last 8 to 10 years is limited to, full-size Biesemeyer T-square style fences, so I don't have a good recommendation.
Maybe somebody in the chat room might have.
Oh, you know what? I do have a recommendation.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know look it up, but I remember when I had a Craftsman saw. Do you remember that contractor saw you guys bought me?
Yep.
It was a huge upgrade when I bought a Vega fence system. The Vega fence system was a massive upgrade, not too expensive, gave you a little bit of that, upgraded T-square style fence, but I was able to put it on my Craftsman contractor at the time. So maybe that's a solution.
So Very Super Cool Tools doesn't do a...
Very Super Cool Tools makes their money on replacing just the fence.
Okay.
You're not replacing the rails.
Okay.
So if you don't have the proper rails in place, you can't use their fence system.
Gotcha.
At least unless they came out with a product that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
I don't think they sell fence rails.
Fence rails.
So
yeah, they said DIY. Well, they have a DIY guide rail on their website. Make your own Biesemeyer style.
Maybe that's it. Go look at Very Super Cool Tools and see what their latest products are.
I'll put the link in the chat room for what I'm looking at. Right, there's a video and
yeah.
Alan,
My apologies for I don't know their product line.
Yeah, Alan.
Work for them.
But we're friends with them.
They're super nice people.
Yes. And Alan's doing good. So.
That's really good to hear.
We got another super chat from Kyle S, but he didn't put a question. Kyle, ask your question in the chat.
Hold on. Mark, check out Permafrost Beards.
Permafrost.
What is permafrost? That doesn't sound like the direction I want to go. I'm already permafrosting.
You're pretty frosty.
Permafrost beards. Is that like, do you frost your tips?
I don't know.
Because that sounds exciting.
Sounds
very 90s.
Very 90s.
Or is it maybe just beard products? It looks like beard products. So like if you want to condition and moisturize your beard, oil sample pack. Look, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something about oil. It will be a cold day in hell, Nicole, before I put on any kind of oil in my beard. I can't do it. Yeah. I hate oil. I don't use oil stones because I can't stand the feeling of oil on my fingers. It's the worst thing in the world. I can't use moisturizers that have, that sort of oily residue afterwards. It's got to be completely water-based. Same thing with my, if my lips get dry and cracked, I use things like Blistex because it actually absorbs into the skin and doesn't leave like all chapsticky, like a dude wearing lipstick kind of feel.
That stuff, yeah.
So I will never put a oil or wax product.
You're not a Dapper Dan man?
I am not a Dapper Dan man. I will never put any of that crap in my beard.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
I will be a dry, frizzy beard forever. As long as I have a beard. Now I won't mind conditioning and washing my beard, but that's where it stops for me.
Kyle did ask the question.
Would you want to nuzzle up to a greasy beard and be like, "Hey, baby," like, you got your soul glow.
I'm like,
you got your soul glow on my cheek. All right.
Just let your soul glow.
All right.
Kyle S said...
It's a woodworking show, isn't it?
I needed to get you to wear that shirt I got you.
Soul Glow for beards?
No, I speak in movie quotes.
Oh, okay.
Kyle S, I'm building the Chester Drawers Guild project.
Oh, great.
I love that.
Well, which one? It depends.
The Chester.
There's the modern one. And
right.
there's
I'm guessing it's just the regular one.
Most people don't like the modern one.
It's too modern.
It's a little too modern.
Maybe 50 years from now, it won't be so modern.
It won't be, yeah.
Unfortunately, the material I bought is 1/16.
1/16 inch
Thinner than the 3/4 in the plans. Any suggestions on how to adjust the plans to fit the material? First, you do have, with that guild build, you have direct support to him through email.
Yeah, so, shoot me an email. You know what? I have to look at the plans and see what the impact of that is, which parts are 3/4 and how that's going to. But a 1/16 is not that big of a deal. There should be no problem making adjustments. The trick, though, I can't make those adjustments for you. I can certainly give you advice on like what to look at, where to pull the material from. But typically, it's really going to be a matter of sizing your joinery a little bit smaller so it fits into that 16 shy material, and then maybe that makes, if we're talking like the web frames are now a little bit thinner, well, now your drawer is just going to be a 1/16 of an inch taller to accommodate that.
So
I do have a couple questions here.
To go to the support in the guild, so when you log into the guild, on the top right-hand corner where your name is, there's a little drop down and it says support. And you can send Mark or Matt an email directly. And they try to get it pretty quick responses.
Try to. Sometimes I get really busy.
Yeah.
But guild questions
are always
answered first. And then I go back and answer all the ones that aren't highlighted as guild questions.
Yep.
Can you imagine, I wake up in the morning, you just see me get up, open my eyes, and then I take my head up, and there's a giant oil stain on my pillow. There kind of already is, just because I'm a greasy Italian. Okay, well, I just killed a squito.
Really?
Yep, got him. Okay, so Joe Schindler wrote in, he says, I will be building a reception desk for my auto repair shop. The desk will be made of birch plywood. I was against this way until I saw your solution for covering the plywood ends with solid wood. Once I have it built, what type of finish would protect it the best? As I'm worried about the environment of the auto shop, from car fumes to chemicals that may come in contact with it. There's a lot of things you could use. I'm going to give you one solution, but do some more research because it might not be the best solution for you. When you're talking about commercial environments, when you're looking into restaurants, auto body places, reception desks, things like that, checkout counters, there is a point in time when you're working at a pro level or material for commercial applications where you should probably start looking into commercial finishes. What I mean by that is the stuff that's a step up from what you get at Rockler and Home Depot. You want to go into things like conversion varnishes, pre-catalyzed lacquer, or just regular catalyzed lacquer. Finishes that are stronger than your average finish, because you're talking about a commercial environment that needs to hold up. People interact with it, materials are going to be on it. It's a different level than what we usually do for our homes. So if you're going to go to that level and put this thing in that place, and you want it to be something that you don't have to worry about all the time, skip and I'm going to say this again, I get in trouble when I say this, skip the hobby finishes and go into professional level finishes, and you'll probably be much happier with the end product.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm done. Okay, let's go to Scott's question. He says, hopefully I'll be able to watch, but either way I'll catch the recording. My question is more of a philosophical one. Why do we stain wood? Is it truly just to make lesser wood look like fancier wood? I'm talking about things like minwax, golden oak, red mahogany. If I just use mahogany and give it a nice finish, shouldn't that work? Would you ever stain a nicer wood? So yes, that would work. And I think what you're talking about is why a lot of woodworkers don't like stain. They figure if you want that to look like something else, buy that something else and use that. But the really important fact that you're missing here is cost. So there's a very big difference between the price of mahogany and the price of red oak, or whatever other wood you might want to substitute. Will it look exactly the same? No, but will the average buyer know the difference? Probably not. So that's why I think stains become very popular, because you could use a less expensive wood and make it look like something more expensive. A lot of times people just want what they want, right? So sometimes we have this mindset of stained wood. Just go into any furniture store. Good luck finding something that hasn't been hit with some kind of a stain or toner. Most of it is. And a lot of times it is because they use less expensive woods and make them look more consistent. And think about it, if you are a manufacturer and you're looking to save as much money as possible, so you get this fairly inexpensive wood, as it comes in, it's probably all mismatched, the grain is changing, the colors and tones are different. So what are you gonna do? You hit it with a toner. And a toner is really just finish with some color particles in it that lays on top of the wood. So what you're gonna do is add a nice even layer of color, and you could take these dissimilar colored materials and make them all look the same. So that when the person, unknowingly, they don't care, they walk into the furniture store and they just see this nice, consistent, dark red, finished, solid wood material. Maybe not solid wood, but ultimately it all just looks the same. So that's kind of why they do it. It allows them to use material that isn't as good as you and I might use. And other times people just like it. My house has a lot of stained alder. They wanted the rustic look of alder and the knots and all that stuff. But plain alder tends to lighten over time and not necessarily get darker. So if you put a little stain on it, I actually think alder looks better with a little bit of stain. Do you remember my mom's table that I made for her in Arizona?
Which one?
So remember, okay. I made the one that because of her house being so small, we had that little flip top, right? And it looked very bland to me. There was nothing but lacquer on that table.
It was very blonde.
Yeah, and it got lighter over time. Oh, hello, ring. So I really like to have a little bit of stain on alder because I think it brings it to life a little bit more.
Millie?
It could very well be. Hopefully my mom's taking care of it. So that's why, But if you have the means to use the wood that gets you the color you want, and it's all pure, that's perfectly fine. That's what I do. I very rarely use stains anymore.
I'm texting her. Is Millie at the door? Our dog likes to ring the doorbell.
Yeah, she jumps the fence in the backyard and just walks around to the front door. The motion detector gets her, and the doorbell rings, and we let her in the front door. Oh, hi, Millie. Thanks for visiting. I actually will be staining the bunk bed.
Oh, yeah?
And the reason, you know this.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. She wants it to look like the woodwork that is in my son's room. There's a built-in that's basically just stained alder. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a medium brown stain just to make it match.
Cody, Mark did not build me a challenge coin. In fact, a viewer and
challenge coin rack.
Viewer of the show. Wow. So Millie did not get let in. I'll go let her in. Curtis sent me.
This is a Wood Talk joke. Chris Robinson goes, "Your dad is here." The other day, man, we recorded a Wood Talk. My dad would not stop calling. And I looked at my call record. I think he called 8 times and left 4 messages. And it wasn't an emergency. He just wanted to talk to his grandkids.
Yeah.
And I'm experiencing this live on Wood Talk because the FaceTime
they weren't
requests,
even home.
No, they're still at school. The FaceTime requests kept coming in. So that's an inside
Oh, the front door's open. Okay, your mom
let
Millie in. Good deal. Jesus said, "Is the show today because Red Dead 2 comes out tomorrow?"
Look, I can neither confirm nor deny that accusation.
But no, it's because we're going to be doing Halloween parties at our kids' school.
So look, here's the thing. I'm loving Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I know you are.
I am playing the crap out of that, but it's a big game and there's so much to do, and I haven't even broken the surface. And now Red Dead's going to come out, and I'm going to have to shelve a fantastic game because I absolutely must.
I'm okay shelving Tomb Raider. If Shadow of the Tomb Raider would have come out shortly after the second one, I would have played right into it and been like, yeah.
But it's rinse and repeat. Yeah. Right.
And it feels like the same story. I feel like I'm playing the same story that I played already.
It's okay though. Sometimes when it's a good story like that and it's a good game mechanic like Assassin's Creed, I just want to play it over and over. Yeah. Anywho, enough video games.
But
yes, we will be playing. I'm actually trying to think about scheduling a couple days off to do nothing but play games while the kids are at school.
You gonna check with your boss on that?
I'm gonna ask him and see what he says.
Hopefully,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask her. See what she says.
Only if she gets to take the day off too. Joe Schneider's. Did I say that? Schindler.
Close enough.
Did you ever order any of the shipped Joe's Barbecue from Kansas City? Have a great weekend and thanks for all the videos. No, we've never done that.
To have it shipped in?
Yeah. No.
I think David Nichols was going to look into that or something, and I
It was really expensive.
yeah,
and
it
we're
was
just
like, dude, don't.
Well, we go through Kansas City enough.
Yeah,
it's
let
okay.
Let it be a treat, because I'm
Yeah.
sure it's like having a pizza sent from New Jersey. It's like by the time it gets here, it'd be like, ugh.
Thank you for the super chat, Joe.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
The Wood Lab.
Jim,
Our friend Jim.
the only sticker share on my wall. Jim has that honor. He's got a great
It
sticker.
says, gosh darn it, you guys made me think it was Friday for a moment.
Sorry, bud.
Now that you've had the mechanical pencils for a bit, is there one or two lead sizes you go to most?
Yeah, sure. You know,
We did this as a survey on the Guild Facebook group where
Right.
I asked.
that was very interesting to see how different the responses were. I got the 4-pack of these, and this should be in the Mark Recommends thing already, if it's not on Amazon.
Maybe I'll check.
Yeah, and repeat the link to Amazon if you can. It's
Amazon-
amazon.com/shop
/The Wood Whisperer.
/The Wood Whisperer. These are the Pentel Graph Gear pencils. They're not cheap, but these are the kind that you want to really make a point to not lose.
Graph Gear 1000?
Yep.
4-pack?
So I got a 4-pack. I don't necessarily recommend the 4-pack. I'm going to answer Jim's question because I think you probably could get away just with 2 of them. So I have the 0.3 millimeter, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9. So the ones I use the most, 0.3 is kind of cool, but
they're
a
expensive.
little bit too small and too prone to breaking. So I actually don't really use the 0.3 much. The 0.5 is my joinery lead. That's the one that I use for very fine work. I don't need to get any smaller than that. It just gets problematic with the 0.3. So 0.5 is my specialty joinery one. 0.7 is kind of a good all-around. If I'm not doing really precise joinery, I might use it for that. I just need a quick mark on something, or I'm marking on paper. I'm writing stuff on paper. The 0.7 is my favorite one for that. Then surprisingly, I didn't think that I would use it that much, but my 0.9 is like my rough marking pencil. I use it to mark my boards out when I'm doing rough layout. It's kind of a substitute for your traditional pencil, which the lead is stronger. It's a little bit easier to write on surfaces that may not be totally smooth. So I still have my regular pencils that are kind of my junk pencils when I need to, like, I don't know, I'm sanding and I put a bunch of squiggly lines on the surface. I'd rather use that than use up the good Graph Gear lead. So for me, it's kind of I would say I actually like the 0.5 and the 0.9 the most. The 0.7 it's good to have, but I don't think it's worth buying the 4-pack.
Yeah.
Just to get that one.
This is the gift set that you got.
It's a gift set.
So,
it comes with lead, extra erasers, and all 4 of those pencils.
So I did put the gift set that Mark got all these pencils. It's actually cheaper than they have a 3-pack that's like $80, and this is a 4-pack for
then get the 4-pack.
$48. So I put it in the Mark Recommends section of the store. So if you're looking for those, you can find them there.
Someone just asked about Troika brand pencils and pens. Never tried them. I've never even heard of it, actually.
Troika.
Someone wants to know how I'm controlling the iPad or the camera from the iPad.
This is a super chat from Jawad
Jawad Sadi.
He was asking, and I told him the Mevo, but I put the Mevo and the Boost in Mark Recommends as well. If you're looking for specifics about the Mevo that we're using, but you want to tell them about the Mevo.
Yeah, I actually, it's just Mevo. Mevo is a all-in-one solution for live broadcast. It's a camera, it is an app, and it's basically just integrating the app and the camera. So I have a little bit less control when things break, like a couple weeks ago.
The boost went out.
The boost was fried, and I think my mistake was I charged it not using the adapter. They said it's got a USB charging cable and plus the little wall wart deal. And I think some of these devices and batteries are really sensitive to, I think it's the amperage. So if you plug it into the wrong amperage, you might fry it.
Yeah.
And I know some of the earbud headphones are very sensitive like that. They got to be charged on 1 amp, very low amperage, so a computer charger. But this guy, I charged it on my little wall deal, and then the next time I went to use it, it just wasn't working. So they luckily
So we've done a few shows with this Mevo. I know you were nervous about switching over because I mean
I bought it in April.
Yeah.
And it took me this long to get to the point that I'm like, all right, let's just get the other camera out of here. Let's use the Mevo, and it's honestly it's working well. And if we upgrade to a subscription, we'll be able to put images if we want to have images for reference. And if I really wanted to get like fancy with it, every time Nicole talks, I could have like hotspots where I go in and I say, go ahead. ask a question,
Hi.
and it would be focused on Nicole. And then I answer the question and I go, well, that's a very interesting question, Nicole. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
And then I could go wide. It's all super easy. Okay, go ahead.
Jawad had a follow-up question. His dream is to build the Maloof chair at a certain point. Is there a specific guild project that you suggest I do before the Maloof chair to build up his skills?
For the Maloof chair, I think one of the...
sculpted rocker. Why doesn't he just get into the sculpted rocker? We have the guild project.
Well, he's saying what one to do before that.
Right.
I don't know that he's saying he doesn't want to get the guild rocker project. You need to do power carving. I think you need to get comfortable with some power carving tools and rasps. The contemplation bench is a good starting point for that. We've done a couple of projects on the free site with sculpting using rasps and die grinders and regular grinders. So that's really what you want to practice. It's that skill of taking a couple different pieces of material, putting them together with traditional solid joinery, but then sculpting them in such a way that they make this like organic form that looks like it's one piece of material.
Let's see.
And the contemplation bench is a pretty inexpensive project as well in the guild.
In fact, keep your eye on thewoodwhisperer.com/calendar every weekend until Christmas. We're putting a completed guild project on sale. And this weekend is the Robo!
That's like the most popular.
We're also going to be putting the sculpted rocker on sale too. I can't remember when it is, but
look at the calendar.
The calendar will tell you.
thewoodwhisperer.com/calendar.
Calendar, and that will give you an idea of what's coming up. So
yep.
You can't email me and say, oh, I bought that project.
Yeah.
I didn't get it on sale.
Hey, Joe Schindler, you asked about the Joes. I actually did buy their sauce.
Oh, you did?
So
That's right.
We brought a bottle of sauce home, which I will use sparingly.
Jennifer Lowry, thanks for convincing me in the last live to get the Highboy Guild project. I don't have the skills to build it, but the content is incredible and worth every penny.
Jennifer.
She's binge watching it at work.
That warms my heart.
Yeah.
Did you get it after I lowered the price? Because I just lowered the price. So anybody who bought it like within the last month, if you want me to refund a few bucks, I can certainly do that. Because I did lower the price. Matt and I talked about it. We still think it's worth the full price, but it's not selling, and we want people to see this thing that Matt put.
It was like 6 months.
More than half a year's work into.
It's insane how much.
It was an incredible undertaking, and it's just a shame that more people aren't seeing it. Yeah. So we are going to sell it for way less than it's worth, just because we want people to be able to watch it. So let me know, Jennifer, if you bought it previously.
So one of the things that came up last week was the mentorship that we do in the Facebook group, and I know a lot of people were like, "What's this mentorship? And what does it have? What's the deal?" So I created a page on the guild. So if you go to the woodwhispererguild.com/mentorship, it will explain the mentorship program inside of Facebook. So I know we have a few people that have done successful mentorships.
It's been pretty cool to watch.
I'm just thrilled to hear that it's working. It's something Facebook did works.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Facebook just in general sucks.
And
they did something good.
Well, and it's really interesting to me. I wonder, because they haven't rolled this out. This is not something we even have available in our community.
It was available to all groups initially, but then I looked again and it's gone on the community. Oh. I think it was a test rollout, and whoever started it got to continue.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was available in the community, the regular.
God, I could not.
And I'm like, oh no.
I could not imagine, because I have to manage all of it. I have to do the pairing. I actually look at their profiles. I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I do my matchmaking.
Matchmaker. I'm going to sing that every time.
Okay. Owen, crisp. I guess, is this a quote from a movie?
I don't know, but hold on. You know what's great?
What?
That our little scroll saw picture is back there, and we're each on the correct side, and that's right in the middle of us. Anyway, go ahead.
He says, as far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a gangster.
I'm sure it is a movie quote.
He puts it in
Is that
quotes.
Godfather?
I don't know.
I sort of recognize it, but I can't nail it. And
Owen, tell me what movie that's from.
We have failed you.
Yes. Lenny, with the gaming table, these are all super chats, by the way. I'm trying to crank through the super chats.
Okay, well, I'm going to shut up and let you do it.
With the Guild gaming table going on sale, any word or plans on the coffee gaming table? I want to build the coffee table, but if I buy the dining, will that help?
Yes.
Yes.
So here's the thing.
I told you what I want to do.
We made a decision.
Yes, we did. He just needs to do it.
What I'm waiting for is we are working with an editor to kind of help us with some of the editing jobs because it's getting a little bit out of control. So I'm waiting for the editor to work on the gaming coffee table video content. As soon as that's available, the plans and the video will be available for free to anyone who ordered the gaming dining table. It will be included as a bonus for free. Anyone who wants to buy the gaming coffee table, buy the gaming dining table. So I will
It's going to be on sale soon.
Yeah, it'll be a twofer. So buy it when it's on sale, and even if the gaming coffee table isn't there yet, oh, good. I knew it was a gangster, obviously a gangster movie. I honestly haven't really seen and sat through all of Goodfellas, which is kind of crazy.
I have to. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
it's like one of my dirty movie secrets.
Right. It's kind of weird. So yeah, buy it while it's on sale and you'll get both as a bonus. And I will eventually change the sales page to say it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. And there will be one video for the entire gaming coffee table that will be added to that series as an extra video showing you how to build it, because so much of it is the same. All you really need is the measurements, and maybe there's a couple little things. There are a couple improvements that I came up with on the second version, the coffee table. The game rail there, that design is a little bit different in the coffee table. It's actually easier, and some other details on the interior that you may want to change, even if you're doing the gaming dining table. and we've decided that the gaming coffee table will not be for sale independently on its own.
Yeah.
And if you want to know why, there's just strategic reasons in terms of simplifying our lives.
Just too many cogs.
Look, I have the choice. I have a choice, Nicole. Mm-hmm. When I build stuff on the free site, I could do like just about everybody else and start charging $10 or $15 for those plans, right? But that's what you do when you don't have a guild.
Right.
I have a guild. If I want to sell a set of plans, I could sell it through the guild. It seems really just so much more work for me and really kind of asinine to ask $15 for, like, everything on the free site is free. It's just, we're going to make plans. It's as, you know, the plans are made by the same guy who makes our guild plans. They're high quality. It's in metric. It's in, imperial.
It's your taste really the guild.
Technically the right term. But that's the whole point of the free stuff, is to give you something great and then say, wow, I really want to get even more into this woodworking stuff. And then you find out about the guild, and then you have the option to go into that world. So that's why we're not just
and I think
selling
too,
plans.
With the coffee table, because there's like little nuances that are in the videos to the dining table, it's like, let's just simplify it all.
Throwback. It's like the two can't really be separated.
Yeah. Julian? Julian. Sorry.
Good job. That's okay.
Morning, Spags. Question: is there a video clip or segment on how to fit the Festool miter clamp into a Bosch 12-inch glide? Thanks for all that you two do.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing.
Butcher your name.
I'm gonna.
Sorry.
Julian. I'm gonna simulate how this is done. Right. Go online. You purchase, I think it's like $30 for the clamp. You purchase the Festool clamp. When it arrives, open the box. Then you go to your Bosch glide, right? Take the Bosch clamp out, get the Festool clamp, drop it in the hole, and that's it.
That's it?
Now, I could make a video on that. I could even make a plan for that, a SketchUp drawing. But that is the nuts and bolts
That's
of the
pretty
whole process. I know it's intense, but I honestly have faith that you can do it.
We believe in you.
Julian.
He even asked it at the top of the show. I was going to get to your question, but thank you for the super chat too.
Yeah, thanks.
Timothy Haddock. Hey, Mark, why is quarter sawn oak such a prevalent thing, but not so much with other woods?
It's a good question. This is a great question for Shannon.
Yeah.
A lot of times it comes down to availability. It comes down to what people are buying. If the demand for quarter sawn white oak is there. See, not all woods will look as cool as quarter sawn white oak looks. So quarter sawn white oak has this property where these medullary ray flecks are exposed and sort of cross-sectioned when you quarter sawn. And that's what gives it that really flecky, cool look that you see in a lot of mission-style furniture. So that's a really sought-after thing, and that's why you would likely see more of that stuff. Other wood species, there are some that actually do that as well. Things like, I don't know, like leopard wood or something. Just if you quarter saw, you get some kind of cool pattern out of it. Most other species, when you do the quarter sawing, yeah, it's a more stable material, and what you wind up seeing is just really nice straight grain lines. Same thing with rift sawn. So it's a more stable material, it kind of looks more uniform, but it's not necessarily doing anything special in that quarter sawing. So maybe it's not as in demand for that reason, right? So I think that's probably why quarter sawn white oak just it does something that other woods don't necessarily do when you do the quarter sawing process on it and expose the grain in that way.
We have a question from Thomas. Oh, wait a minute. I skipped over Josh. Josh Larson. Hello, Mark and Nicole. You guys are so inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
Aw. I love making shop projects. They feed my OCD, but sometimes I focus on them instead of customer projects. Wow, this sounds like somebody I know.
Doesn't it?
Right now. Any advice on starting or staying focused on paying projects or your son's bunk bed?
Here's the thing, Josh. I've got an excuse, right? I'm the boss. I decide what gets built when. My customer currently is my 7-year-old son. Well, he'll be 7 in a few days.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about him getting mad at me for taking too long to make his bunk bed.
Where's my bed, Dad?
Right?
Where's my bed? You're making me sleep on the floor now.
Right. He's not saying anything. I've got shop projects that I did recently, and I'm really having trouble letting go, as evidenced by the fact that I spent all day yesterday building a 2-tier sliding tray in a drawer. So I made one really cool drawer, like all day. That's what I did. Instead of working on the bunk bed. So I completely understand those shop projects. Once you get in that organization kick, you cannot stop. I was out here last night in my pajamas and my slippers, just moving things around, like putting stuff in a drawer, going like ding, ding, ding. Oh, I'm gonna hang this little thing up there. I feel very satisfied. I was out here for hours last night because my mom's in town, so she's doing the put down for the kids, one of the kids. So anyway, I love it, I get it. Here's the thing. This 2-tiered tray is still paying my bills, right? Because I will film this and I'll make a video, it'll go on the free site, and I will make about 35 cents on YouTube, which is fantastic. In your case, you're talking about paying customers. Your motivation should be the fact that you need to get paid, right? So my advice...
Money is a good motivator.
Yeah, my advice is to save those shop projects for when you actually have that spare time. Customers, I think, if you're really in it to make money and you're surviving off of this money and your family, I don't know if you're married or not and have kids, but people might be depending on you for this income. I think the motivation is built in. And if you don't have enough motivation to do it, you must be doing really good as a woodworker that you can afford not to focus on your paying job, right? So that's a good sign. Congratulations.
I would say maybe it's a question of getting started. So I find that I'm a procrastinator. I procrastinate. So I find, this is simple. I have to cut out 20 pumpkin mouths for the stupid pumpkin craft that I'm doing at Mateo's house. Cool. And I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. But I'm like, okay, it's sitting there. I'll do one. Well, I did one. I'll do two. So I find if I just convince myself to do one thing, then it kind of folds in, and the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, I'm done. So that might be a way to get yourself started.
Chris Robinson, have you ever pondered what's next if the guild ever runs its course for you? No.
No.
Why would I bother?
We're gonna go to...
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
I'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
We're gonna retire.
Yeah. Ultimately, here's the game plan, if there is any future thinking game plan. When you are creating content and you're making it for sale and you've got a library of free videos, it is building a library that essentially contributes to what they call passive income, right? It's a very fun buzzword, look it up. But it means you can make money by not actually actively doing things because you've already invested the time initially. That's what my business is, and I'm not getting tired yet, and I don't plan to retire anytime soon. So a passive business that you are continually actively contributing to is one that hopefully, when it's all said and done, and I do decide to pull back a little bit and not produce as much content as I used to, that I will be able to rely on some of that income.
I can't see us ever stopping. I mean, because it's just part of our DNA.
Well, and ultimately, like, I may get to a point where I don't film everything. Maybe I just once in a while film it. But part of my joy in what I do is communicating with people and sharing this information with people. So yeah, I can't even envision a time, unless I am physically unable to get out here and do it, I just can't envision a time that I wouldn't want to at least, even if I just kind of pulled back and all I did was social, right? I just document it with my phone and here's what I'm working on. That's really gratifying to me. So I don't envision that being a problem. That said, it also is really stupid not to invest and to do things for retirement outside of content, because that is a world I don't have complete control over. So I would advise strongly that as you start to make enough money, you know, in something like this, for people who are, I don't know if Chris is, but you got to look into investments, traditional investing outside of, you know, Instagram and YouTube, which is a volatile.
Barry said Mateo will inherit the guild. I don't think Mateo will. I think Ava will, to be honest with you.
Ava's more likely to inherit the guild. Who knows? I mean, I don't know that this stuff is going to have long-term value like that, but if it did, it could be, you know, we'll be the new Rockefellers, Nicole. Just pass it on to our kids. You think?
Whether they like it or not.
All of our YouTube pennies. Here, this is your problem now, kid. You know what? Honestly,
take care of those comments.
Kids these days, it's a great way to start a sentence. Kids these days, I think, are a little more immune to the world, the online world, and the negativity that's there, because they're kind of going to be natives of that sort of thing. So, in my mind, I think the worst thing in the world would be for one of my kids to have to deal with the stuff that I deal with online. I would not want that for them. But the reality is they probably see it very differently than we do. They could brush it off way easier because they don't put the value in a comment that I put in there because I'm 41 years old and have a memory that predates YouTube.
You have a memory?
I do, like an elephant.
NSCR2 says, is there a Facebook group for the guild members? I bought a build a while ago. I may have missed it. Well, yes, there is.
That's
in fact,
great question.
If you go to that mentorship link, there's a link to the Facebook group, or if you go to the woodwhispererguild.com/welcome, basically all the benefits of the guild are listed there, including the Facebook group. So you just simply have to click on the link to get to the Facebook group, and you got to give me the email you registered under. I verify everyone's membership to get into the guild Facebook group. So if you don't give me your email that you registered, you're not getting into the group.
Yeah. Isn't it supposed to be a quick show?
I know, but we just got all
keep answering or keep asking the questions. We'll go until they stop.
So for Alex, our friend Alex Kilpatrick, I'm doing some acetone graphics on panels that will end up with a thick epoxy finish, having an issue with the epoxy screwing up the graphics. Any tips? Maybe pre-finishing with something else first.
It's a terrible question for me.
Well, I don't know.
I know a little bit about epoxy, and I know a little bit about pre-finishing, but I have no idea what acetone graphics are, and I don't know anything about it, so I am not prepared to give this guy any advice.
We got a couple.
Sorry.
Well, sorry, Alex.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Google's your friend on this one.
I will be giving you a very uninformed opinion on that.
John W. and Jeff X, they're asking about the guild. So Jeff said, how much is the guild? And John said, what would be the best project to purchase to get started off in the guild? Okay,
first of all, the guild is an online repository of video projects, but it is also a community. And that's why we have a private Facebook group. There's a lot of interaction on the site itself, gives you easy access to the instructors so you can ask them questions about the project. Think of the guild as an online version of a traditional woodworking school, and you're able to go at your own pace. That's the whole point of it.
You can download the videos, save them from later, take them on a plane.
The cost of the guild is the cost of any project you want to buy, right? You buy that project, you're in the guild. So the prices range from like 30 or 40 bucks to 120 bucks, depending on what you're buying. The best project to get started with,
the one you're interested in.
That's a good answer. The shaker table is a good basic project if you're just looking for a suggestion, but I say look at the menu of options and pick the one you like the most. As long as you have the tools to get the job done, the Guild is designed to walk even beginners through the most complex projects because it truly is covered in a step-by-step fashion.
John W. just said, is the Rubo a challenging project for a beginner?
It's challenging in the sense that the work pieces are huge.
Yeah, heavy.
So managing these large materials, that's challenging, but the joinery for it, it's pretty forgiving. The vise installation, a little bit complex, but if you have it laid out in a sensible way, which is something that I'm pretty decent at doing, you
to
have
toot my own horn.
To toot my own horn over here. It's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I've had people come in with like no experience who come in and build a sculpted rocker. Granted, that's someone who clearly had some aptitude for it. But
a lot of time.
And a lot of time, but it can be done. And here's the thing, we do have a free project. It's not, I had somebody tell me recently, I think it was in one of my consulting sessions, that the picture frames project, that's the free project on the Guild, so you can kind of get a taste of it. He's like, I don't think that represents the Guild very well.
Yeah.
He's like, because it's smaller, simpler projects, you don't go into as much depth, because
It's
I almost
picture
called him
frame.
Mateo. Matt and I had to record that in a fixed time frame. So he's like, I don't think that it actually sells the Guild very well. And I'm like, well, it's there.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to add more to it in the future, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, there's
a
everything
big-
you wanted to know about the Guild.
Big Guild commercial for you.
It's an awesome community. I really enjoy the Facebook group. I enjoy.
It's so good, and it's very personal. Nicole
Yeah.
and I are very actively engaged in the Guild group on Facebook. I respond to emails. I respond to questions. Daryl Peart is a Guild instructor. You take his course, you leave a question in the comments, Daryl gets an email in his inbox that he has to answer. He's contractually obligated to answer it. No, he's not, but he will because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
So that's the whole point of it. You want to get in touch with Anne Briggs, for instance, by her writing desk. Leave a comment in one of her videos, and she'll see that. So it's a great way to access people who might be a little bit hard to get in touch with and get direct support.
There you go. Jeff X, who was asking about, how does he get into Guild? He's 14 and he wants to start woodworking. So
Give him a free project.
there you go.
You're 14 years old, dude.
Jeff Rex.
I'm gonna hook you up. So how do you want to do it? Let him pick the project?
Yeah, you email me at nicole@thewoodwhisperer.com and I'll set you up in the Guild.
And
with
now
the
you're going to see a
project.
stream of, hey, I'm only 13. And it's a 60-year-old dude. Hey, I'm only 13. Can I have a free project?
So there you go. All right.
Taking his word for it.
Oh, Thomas, I missed Thomas's question. He said, I saw that a Mana tool had an 8-inch carbide tipped adjustable Grover?
Groover?
Grover. Near?
Grover.
Far.
Far.
Do you think it's worth having as a kind of a replacement for a dado stack? I don't have the room for it on my table saw.
8-inch carbide tipped adjustable groover blade. Do you think it's worth having as a... I'm not sure about that blade. It just sounds like you might be talking about a square tooth grind, something that you could use not just for grooves, but like a box joint blade. That is a decent substitute, but I don't know anything about it. If it's truly adjustable, and it is designed as a grooving blade, it's probably not going to give you, full 3/4 of an inch dados. So it's a good option, but I think if you're really looking for what a dado blade is generally meant to do, I think you should save up for a dado blade because that will do everything, right? It'll do small grooves, it'll do big dados for plywood, for cabinets and things like that. You can make joinery, tenons and stuff on there. The grooving blade is better than a alternating bevel blade in terms of the results that you get, but you're still taking multiple passes to get something like that done.
All right, that's it. Let's wrap it up. It's
over.
already 11.
Okay. So you're giving the free project to that dude, the 14-year-old.
Yep. Oh, Lenny did another super chat. Lenny, he said, gaming table, smiley face. P.S. Did you finally quit?
No,
No, we're still here.
we're definitely here. Anything else?
Oh, the giveaway. We're giving away a
Oh.
Powermatic
Oh, snap.
air filtration. So
The PM1250.
Yes. So if you go to thewoodwhisperer.com/giveaway, and all you have to do, if you don't like doing social media, that's fine. That's why I put like a ton of different
There's
ways
a bunch
to
of
enter.
ways to enter.
Just give me your email address, and you'll be entered to win a $700 air filtration system.
And
from
this is the
Powermatic.
thing, it is pricey, right?
Yeah.
The product is pricey, and I'm not here to apologize for any company's pricing. It is what it is. Their regular squirrel cage traditional air filter
that you hang
is
on
like
the ceiling.
is $500.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, Powermatic isn't a cheap brand. You're not going to find bargains when you're buying Powermatic stuff. So this one I consider to be a substantial upgrade from that other unit. And I can give you a quick mini review on this. And again, disclosures will always be in my stuff now, unless I forget. This is a unit that was sent to me, free of charge from Powermatic. They are a sponsor of our show, but they're not telling me to review the product. I actually try to stay away from reviewing officially their products because given our situation, it's really hard to 100% trust anything that I say about a Powermatic tool, right? I'm gonna be honest about that.
Yeah.
And if anyone who says that things like that aren't true with that situation, they're just lying. So here's my opinion on it, and I'm telling you this is just my honest thoughts. I've had these things in my shop for 6 months. You guys know that I'm a little bit paranoid, right? And this thing is a content producer, health paranoid person's dream come true, okay? So here's the thing, they're super quiet. I could have it running right now and you wouldn't hear it unless I put it on high. It moves a significant amount of air. I think they sized it so that it recycles the air 5 times in an hour in like an oversized 2-car garage roughly. It filters down to 0.1 microns, and the filter inside it is a electrostatic filter with 3,000 hours of life. If you do the math on that, I think that's like 650 days of running it at 5 hours a day. Right, so it's going to be years before you have to replace this filter. So instead, you just take the cover off and you just vacuum it off and it's clean and ready to go. So it is pricey. It is a top tier type product. But if you are constantly replacing filters and that's getting annoying, this is something you might be interested in. If you need a quiet air cleaner, you might be interested. And if you need one that's really powerful, that you can not only hang on the ceiling, but you can also put it on your bench top next to your work, it's good for that as well. So there's my best sales pitch. You need to decide if it's worth it for you, but all of those things that I said are true.
There you go. woodwhisperer.com/giveaway. Canadians. You can enter to anything outside Canada, US. Unfortunately, you can't enter just because of giveaway laws and all that stuff. That
Not our fault.
Yeah.
Don't
go to the page and read what we write.
You know what?
About
Don't blame us.
Don't blame us.
Blame your government.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Right. American.
Oh, Lenny said, I was talking about Wood Talk. Did you finally quit? No, he's still
Well, no, that's the old Wood Talk joke.
Oh.
Well, no, man. I mean, he may just be making a fun joke.
Okay.
But we had a show on Monday, and we will have another show on Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah. We're doing the show.
Are you going to take a holiday break?
Of course.
Yes.
Which actually, now that I think about it, thanks for mentioning it, Nicole, I think our holiday break probably starts now. All right, well, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. It was an
long show.
Supersized show.
Hey.
And I guess I have no excuse. I need to start building this stupid bunk bed.
It's not stupid.
It'll be not stupid when it's done.
It's bulky.
And when it's in my rear view,
yeah.
and I don't have to worry about it anymore.
And that will be on the free site.
On the free site.
And
I won't be charging for those plans.
Yeah.
You know what's nice?
Oh, yeah, Chris. Make sure you go out and vote next time.
Oh, yeah, it's voting time, right?
Yep,
hey, here's I don't get political, but I will say this. If you are unhappy with the current state of things, then go vote, right? The best thing you could do.
Or if you're happy.
Don't go on Facebook and try to change people's minds who you can't possibly change. And
I tried to do that with my aunt. It doesn't work.
Make yourself look like a turd, right? And sharing memes that aren't true. What you need to do is exercise your right to vote. And that's the best thing you can do. Don't worry about Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about as political as we'll ever get.
That is it. What was the other thing I wanted to say?
I don't know.
Oh, I was just a little pat on the back for you, Nicole.
Oh, really?
It's actually for me.
Yeah.
There is a change is coming.
Yes.
And I said this actually a couple years ago. I predicted that we will start to see more and more YouTubers and content producers moving toward paid platforms.
Yes.
They will start to step away from this crazy, hectic weekly format and will start to learn that it is much better to charge and give more detail than to keep giving away stuff for free.
Quality.
Yeah, to increase the quality and charge a little bit for it, and that's much more feasible long term. And that is happening now. And there are some people, some makers and YouTubers who are moving toward exactly what I said they would. That's just how it's going to go.
Well, good.
What's nice, though,
Yeah.
for us, is that we're still doing the same thing we've always done.
Yep.
So now I'm just putting out the same videos I've always put out. And then there are people who are like, years ago may have come by and said, why don't you put out a video a week? Why aren't you doing this? Why are you focusing so much on the guild? Those same people can now come back and say, thank you, Mark. Thank you for continuing to put out quality free plans while everyone else is going to a paid platform. And I say, you're welcome. How's that?
You're such an ass.
I'm also...
if you're thinking it, I'll do it.
Look, what I'm finding is that the proportion of gray hair is actually directly consistent with my snark.
Yes.
Okay, so the more gray I
you get more snark.
the snarkier I get.
That's fine.
And it's going to be fun to watch.
Our friend Brad Ferguson, who was with us at the beginning.
Tree Frog.
Tree Frog.
He's my homie.
He said, have a great day.
Hey, thanks, Brad. Glad to see you around, dude.
I hope you're doing well.
Brad used to be my my woodworking class buddy.
Yeah.
I think we did, what, 1 or 2 classes together?
Yeah.
Over at William Ing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, William Ing.
Yeah.
There was one other thing.
Jeez, Nicole, come on.
I know. Well, you kept talking.
Like,
and
we
I
got
was
nothing
like,
else.
John,
John, look, John said Mark is so great. And
but a lovable a-hole. Alex.
that should be my nickname. Spagnolo, the lovable a-hole.
The lovable
Listen,
a-hole.
if you guys want to be entertained, if you can, try to look at some of the comments on my YouTube videos because there are some people who I am just messing with. And it feels so good to do it. And I know you shouldn't, you know, you roll in the mud with the pigs, all you do is get dirty.
Yeah.
But there are some people who need to be taught a lesson, and it makes me feel good.
Okay, stop talking. I remember what I was going to tell you.
Shut up.
If you are in Denver next Saturday, we are doing a meetup at the new Makerspace in Littleton.
Barry said the head is out of frame now. Talking about me.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So if I don't, you know what? I should probably put this up somewhere other than Facebook.
Look at the picture.
In the.
Listen, I need to stay humble.
Yeah, be humble.
Okay.
And it's the details are on Facebook. I'll try to put this in the newsletter too. But for anyone that's in the Denver area, specifically the Littleton area, there's a new maker space, and I'm looking for the stupid invites.
John said, Mark's feeding the trolls. I'm feeding the trolls a bucket full of FU sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember the maker space name?
No, I got the Denver Tool Library.
Yeah, that was our last meetup. The next one is going to be My Own Two Hands.
My Own Two Hands. They just opened.
They just opened. So that is the makerspace. We're going to be there on November 3rd between 1 and 3. They're going to have like all kinds of stuff like refreshments and stuff like that.
Water. Here, enjoy a refreshment.
It says they're going to do tours, beverages, special giveaways, and have staff on hand answer any questions. So it's a whole makerspace that just opened up in Littleton. So if you are in the Denver area and you want to meet this a-hole,
if you want me to just make fun of you for an hour,
come and hang out with us.
I'm going to have an insult booth set up.
At My Own Two Hands makerspace.
For a nickel, I'll cast an insult. Does that sound good?
So I'll put the link. It's on our main page. So I'll put the link. If you're not on Facebook, I think you can look at the event, even if you don't have a login. Isn't that true?
I don't know. I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. I got stuff to do.
I got a big.
I got stuff to do. I got trolls to anger. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Have a wonderful weekend since we won't see you tomorrow.
Yes.
And we will catch you next week.
It is not Friday. It's Thursday.
Yeah, don't not show up at work tomorrow.
Don't blame us. We don't have a note for you.
We need a doctor note.